Hey everybody, it's Master Gallon Guys here, bringing you my review of the latest episode of Preacher C. Now, I still don't know what's going on in the show. I mean, I have an understanding of the Tulip and Jesse situation, and how that's going on, but it is a very disjointed thing at the moment. I like it overall. I like the style, I like the characters, but I don't know what's going on, and it's very hard to find how stories are going because it jumps around a lot. Like this one. It started off in the Old West with this guy, I think, going to go get medicine because his daughter is sick. His wife's singing to her and all that, and she gives him a list of what to go for, and it doesn't happen until later that's like, oh, this is in 1881. And it's really weird to try and figure out how that ties into the rest of the story since all we've had is one pilot episode and we don't know what's going on. It's really jumpy back and forth. We also then get to the present day where Jesse's doing this baptism thing, baptizing people, trying to get through all that. His old girlfriend Tulip's there, and she thinks it's a crock, pretty much trying to get him back in the game, and it's just really interesting because he's trying to deal with all this stuff that people's going on, and it's the one girl in his congregation is like the one that like helps him handle everything. It's like Cassidy doesn't really do much, and he wants more money and everything. And it's like, yeah, Cassidy's kind of an a-hole, but he's good enough. You know what I mean? He doesn't do bad stuff unless he absolutely has to, or he thinks it's going to be fun. And it's just weird jumping around. Like, it's even really hard for me to review because it jumped into such weird places, and I usually go in kind of like an order of how stuff goes within the show, and just weird stuff pops into my head. Like, at one point, there was this, like, truck moving company that they signed this land over by this couple, and they pretty much moved him out and bulldozed this stuff. This dude had a broken arm and then smashed this other dude's face in, and he didn't die, but it's like, okay. And then that dude is later seen at a whorehouse that Tulip's at as she's like gambling for poker and trying to get stuff for information or whatnot, which I don't know why she needs, because there's always this illusion of some kind of treasure or whatnot that she's going after that her and Jesse would be great for, and she like knocked him out or whatnot in the middle of the road because that was the only way she could get him, and she's like, oh no, you weren't here, I mean, I had this on your leg, but okay. And he's like trying to saw it off, and this Eugene kid like, oh, I don't know if I felt right. It's like doing the baptism because I don't feel changed as I should be. And he's like, you just deal with it. You move on. Try and do it. You'll be able to do it. And also in this episode, this one bus driver dude's talking about having urges for like little girls, and he's like, oh, you can't do anything. This is confidential, right? I'm like, I would have took him out right there. Which eventually happened in the episode because he's like, nah, I gotta do something about this. Goes in and is pretty much threatening him and everything, and used the power that he used on the other guy to tell him to forget about her. And he completely forgets about her. And then he tries to go to this house of this one girl who I'd assumed had a horseback riding accident, and her skull's like messed up and she's in a coma, and he tried to use his power on her to wake her up. That's how the episode ends. And it'll be interesting to see if that actually works. What also happened in the episode is this group of like these two guys who say they're federal agents went to, I think they're after Cassidy, but I don't know what they were doing with Jesse, because Jesse drank this stuff that Cassidy had, knocked him out, and like, alright, peace, get out of here. And he's like, ah, crap. Turns around, and then the dudes are performing some kind of thing, which I don't know if they're trying to exorcise demons or whatnot. It wasn't made very clear. And then Cassidy kills him in like brutally gory fashion, which was awesome, and then he's did get wounded, then he sucked up some blood and it healed him. And it's interesting because we don't know how his vampirism actually works. We know that it heals him. We don't know how much blood he needs because it doesn't seem like he needs blood unless he has severely harmed himself. And we don't know how the sun really affects him. It's kind of weird. Well, he kills those people, butchers them up, puts them in a thing, in a case that they had, and pretty much buries them later. But at one point in the episode, we see, I don't know if it's a flashback or if there's a new group of those same dudes coming in. And it's like, it's very hard to understand kind of what's going on because it jumps around so much that once you get a thread that, I know what's going on, you're like, no! I'm gonna have to keep watching it to kind of see if it gets into a groove. I'm not saying it's bad, it's interesting to try and watch, but you're gonna have a hard time trying to keep everything kind of in a straight line. I don't know if that's part of because of the source material or whatnot, but I am 2 episodes in and I still really do not know what's going on. I have an idea, but I don't really know. So, that's my opinions on the episode. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a nice day.